din dari-ari. Mga palangga. Welcome back to my YT channel. This is Academy Singer, Eternal Voice, your YouTube content creator. This will be the problem solving discussion. Okay, ganon. Basta ni siya, how much heat energy, diba, is required to heat, to melt. Oh, melting process, right? To melt, my gosh, 25 grams of ice. So this is very practical, right? Ice inside a refrigerator. The heat of fusion, diba? I told you heat of fusion because melting is a fusion. Diba? Yesterday I was confused. Oh, what's really the process of melting point? So I said to myself, oh, that's fusion. I'm correct now. Okay, that's fusion really. Okay. Nanipilit sa akong brain cells. Fusion din na siya. Okay? Of ice, the heat of fusion, mga palangga, the heat of fusion, oh na, my goodness, is for ice, okay, is, ano siya? 6.01 kilojoules. 6.01, ano yan? Kilojoules per mole. Now, in this attack of solving the problem, you will identify first of all, how much heat energy is required to melt 25 grams of ice. The heat of fusion for ice is 6.01 kilojoules per mole. So it's very obvious that the process is fusion and there's a melting point. Okay, melting point. Okay, meaning to say the ice will become liquid. Okay, so this meaning to say solid to liquid. Now, I will ask you, is this involving a chemical reaction or not? This is the first question. Okay? Because there are two ways. Either involving a chemical reaction is just simply a phase change, meaning changing one form to another, one form of matter to another. Okay? Like that, or one phase of matter to another. So this is very clear that this is phase change. Phase change, not a chemical reaction. So meaning to say, this is a physical change, not a chemical change. Under the study of changes of matter in our flow chart, in studying the whole picture of chemistry. So changes of matter, but a physical change. Meaning, there's no chemical reactions involved. Okay? Like that. Okay? Because this is still water. Okay? The reactant is water, and the product is also water. Okay? Like that. This is liquid, and it will become vapor. But still the same elemental constituent. Okay? Like that. Vapor, I said, in science, gas is also a vapor, technically. Okay? So we put that small letter G. Okay? So do not expect to balance chuba-chucho here because this phase is a phase change only, right? Okay. You don't have to worry in this kind of problem. What you na siyempre yung timanan, phase change pa or chemical reaction? Because lahi ba ang chemical reactions? Okay? Dagang pasikot-sikot. Okay? So, later ako discuss. Okay? Tapos ako inom sa kong coffee ha. Tapos activate akong brain cells. Ganon. Tapos sa mga palangga. Diba? I will go back to the discussion proper later on. Ganon. Okay. Chart. Diba? Okay. Oh, coffee. Coffee, everyone. Hello, mga palangga. Coffee, everyone. Oh. Very, very delicious. Delicious talaga. Wrong grammar. Okay. Ganon. So, in this equation, okay, either we can solve this through dimensional analysis conversion factors, or we can solve this by having the standard formula or equations. There are two types of to solve the problems, right? So most of the shortcut method of doing that, of getting the answer, is to use the dimensional analysis. That you don't have to worry how to find the exact standard formula. So these are applicable to those people that are very, very high intelligent quotient in math. Okay, you get the point. But for those people who are only average, like me or below, so we don't treat this as good way of solving normally. Okay, me, I will depend on the standard formulas and standard equations because it's easy to plug in. It's easy to put the data there and then you can solve mathematically. But these dimensional analysis are, are really very good because whatever it is, it can be solved even though you forgot the formulas and equations. You get the point? So this has an advantage, but not all have this kind of IQ. Not everybody was given to this kind of privilege, talent, or let us say this is a skill that God gave to them. Only few, not so many. So we will project to the majority in this discussion, not to only few. Okay? Get the point? So, okay, we will go to the standard formulas first. Okay, so I said Q is equals to MCP dt, right? And I have also Q is equals to M, heat of vaporization. But in this case, heat of fusion. So HF. Okay? Because the one requirement is you will determine first what's the process. Okay, and after getting this, it's easy to identify or to to extract or to obtain the appropriate formulas and equations. Because fusion is the process here, melting. Okay, so Q is equals to MHF also. Okay? Now, there's a given of, diba I told you, kilojoules per mole. Okay, ganon. Now, this will be the heat of fusion. It was mentioned already, the heat of fusion. So this will substitute here directly in the HF. Tanawa. Okay? Now, there are two equations involving HF. Okay? We will eliminate this insipidity already. It's not applicable because the specific heat capacity is not mentioned, and we will not also make ourselves complicated. Okay, because there's already given the HF, then why you go to the equation that has specific capacity? So it will make us tasky. Though we can solve that again, the same as this, but it will have so many steps before going to this. So we need to simplify straightforward so that we can easily solve the problem. It will take time also to do that, and maglibog ta, we will confuse sometimes along the way if we do that. So go to the direct. Either 2 and equation 3. Ganon. Now, in your problem, grams of ice is given, right? Take a look. Grams of ice is given. So you will use the equation 3 because there's mass beside the heat of fusion, not the number of moles. Okay, so we use this equation number 3 directly after scrutinization of variables in the equation. That's fit, F-I-T, or shootable, like that. Okay, so we will substitute the mass also here. Okay, Q, makita niyo mga talaga, Q is equals to 25 grams of ice. Ice is also a water, only the phase change. So you will be using also the same molecular weight or the same molar mass. But do not do that because your formulas are M. Oh, substitute the M. Ganon. Okay, substitute the HF which is 0.01 kilojoules per mole. Ganon. Diba? Okay. Ganon. Okay. Now, Tanawa good, if we direct solve the problem, okay, you cannot get directly what is being asked because there's a lot of unit grams, kilojoules per mole. But you are following already the formula. You get the point. What you will do that in this manner. You substitute the mass, you substitute the heat of fusion, but when you substitute the two, there's a rumble of unit somewhere along the way. So, the second step is to know the compatibility of the unit of measurement in your equation so that you can simplify and cancel out units so that it will be simplified to have one unit as the result after your computation. Okay? Something like that. So, klaro kayo nga na gram na I know. So, what quantity in the periodic table or property, physical property of an element that try to consider the gram and the mole? So, obviously, it's the molar mass. Right? Molar mass is the obvious for this. Okay. Now, we solve this one by considering the number of moles. You get the point? Okay? Ganon, di ba? Okay. Now, 25 grams and then multiply by, okay, i-reverse because the grams will be down to cancel. Okay, gram, water is 18.016 and then mole. Oh, ganon, cancel ang grams. Kalalat, kalalat. Oh, ganon. So, multiply by 0.1 kilojoules per mole. 0.1 kilojoules per mole. And then the mole is cancelled because the other one is a numerator and denominator. What will left is kilojoules. So this is now the heat. Okay? Why? There's no unit now in the denominator. Okay, kilojoules, calorie, BTU, like British thermal unit, something like that. So this is now the unit of energy. Or let us say, horsepower or watts in terms of electrical energy. Like that. So there's a lot of energies, right? So, ganon. So, what is your heat here? Okay? Ganon lang siya ka-simple. Direct substitution, but you need to troubleshoot or you need to compatibility of the units. Ganon lang siya. O, diba? So, pili atong answer yun yung higayon na. Okay. So, 25, charat. Okay, 25 times 0.1 galore divided by 18.06. So, your answer will be 0.137 kilojoules. Okay? And now, if you found a very small answer, you need also to review. Okay, 25 grams of the mass of the ice. Okay, and then grams. Okay, and then molecular weight, 18.06 grams mole. And then 0.1 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so you review because why I have 0.138? And then you will go back now to the clerical issues. Clerical, you write it, how you write it clearly because sometimes the errors are due to the clerical, the way how you write it, so many erasures, you forgot to cancel, whatever, you forget to convert, though nakuha dyan mo ang proper solving. But sometimes the errors only due to clerical ba. Especially you are in hurry, like that. Let's review because I obtained 0.139, so it looks like very small, right? Because as far as I could remember, we can produce water naturally by having 150.57 something kilojoules, right, per mole. But why this is point only? My brain cells detect already that this is too small, so I have to review. Okay, like that. Things like this, you need to apply this in your culture of problem solving. Okay, like this, or attitude. Okay. point 1, blah, blah, blah. So it's already correct, perfect. So maybe there's something wrong with my, how I write it. Again, how much energy is required to melt 25, and the way how I substitute, right? Of ice, the heat of fusion for ice is 6. Ah, okay. This is 6.01 and I use only 0.1. Diba? That's the purpose. Okay? Dili ta magsalig sa kanang sulit-sulit jud ta. Tanaw jud na nato tanan. Okay? Diba? Oh. So, because we can trace the errors if we will go back or review. Okay? Or else, magbong jud ta. Okay, 25 times 6.01 is equals to divided by 18.01. Okay. This is 8.34. 8.34 kilojoules. Hala, really? 8.34 kilojoules of the heat energy to convert it to liquid from ice. Okay, ganon. Okay, so we need to say, guys, this is the real problems talaga siya. Because this 6.01 kilojoules is not the standard na gamit. The technique is if the problem is already using values, do not go to the standard. Because the standard will only be used in the conversion and if there's no available data given. But if there's a given, then you substitute first priority the given. Okay? Because this 6.01 kilojoules per mole is the same unit with latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization, ganon, at standard condition. Meaning to say, this heat of fusion are not necessarily at standard condition in this problem. This is now reality. Reality. Kind of problem in which it does not specify, but it is now actual. Okay? Because the standard heat of fusion is not 6.01 man. So what I mean, if there's already the value, I don't substitute the standard. Okay? The standard values are only used in conversion or if it is not mentioned in the problem. You get the point? Kanang, in your first visualization, kanang maglibog ka ba kay, the problem is so simple and there's no a lot of data involved. Only one. And then, how can I do this? Maglibog data kay mag-isa given. Okay? And then that's the time standards will work. You get the point? Oh. Because there are sometimes also like that. The problem is so simple. In fact, there's also a problem. There's no given at all. And you will ask to compute for something. You get the point? So that's the time all standards will work. Theory standards will work in a particular problem. Okay, but that is still a problem solving way or approach. Okay, so you will combine all the theories like that to solve that particular problem that has no given at all. Okay, but that's rare, ha? Most of the times, not given at least one. Okay, in this case, how many given? 1, 2 given or 2 data to solve for the problem. Okay, the more it has a lesser data, the more your problem will be not complicated to think. Okay, the may data ba? Duha ka buo, ganun, di ba? Okay, ganun. Okay, so thank you so much. You can like and comment and share this video. And you can subscribe my Wati channel if you want. Bye bye. God bless everybody. See you later. Diba? Ganon.